Who will make it to the semi-finals of the Champions League? Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today welcome to my Champions League quarter-final second leg predictions. Tomorrow night and Wednesday night we will find out the four sides that will make it to the Champions League semi-finals. The ties are all in the balance. We've got some brilliant games to look forward to. We could have some comebacks. We could have, well, anything can happen really. But make sure to smash a like, subscribe, and let's get into this video. Okay, and the first game is from the Wanda Metropolitano, where it is the sixth meeting of the season between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. Atletico Madrid obviously are currently 2-0 up after a fantastic smash and grab 2-0 win at the Nou Camp a week ago. Of course, watching that game, Barcelona, for me, they were on top. They were completely the better side, in my opinion. Atleti, literally two counter-attacks, 2 goals, really. Well, 1 counter-attack, really, because obviously the first Atletico goal from Alvarez was a free kick. What a free kick, by the way. I mean, the red card for Kabasi obviously led to that free kick being scored. I mean, I still don't know, to be honest. I'm still a bit 50-50 on it, but a brilliant free kick from Alvarez to put Atletico in the front, to put Atletico Madrid in front. And even though Barca were down to 10 men, that second half in particular, Barcelona were all over Atletico Madrid. They had so many chances. They just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And then what? One counter-attack. Atleti go down the other end. The ball's into the box, and a great finish at the near post from Sorloth to make it 2-0. And Atleti, you know, that is a fantastic result for them. A 2-0 win at the Nou Camp, taking this lead back to the Wanda Metropolitano, where it's at home. And they are going to be in, well, I wouldn't say in control, but they have a big advantage. Atletico Madrid. I mean, I think everyone knows what the game plan's going to be from them. They are going to sit in. They're going to sit back. They're going to defend for this whole game. They're going to try and hold on to this 2-0 lead. But it's going to be very difficult to do that, because Atleti, they did literally the same thing in the Copa del Rey semi-final. Atleti, they actually won the first leg 4-0 at the Wanda Metropolitano. They went to the Nou Camp 4-0 up, sat back. Barcelona scored 3 goals against them, and Atletico came very, very close to bottling it. So if they are going to sit back, they've got to be very, very compact defensively, because everybody knows the quality that Barcelona side has going forward. You've got Lamine Yamal on the right. You've got Rashford on the left. You've got Lopez in the 10 probably. You've got Lewandowski up front. You've got Pedri in midfield. There's so much quality in this Barcelona side. And even though Atleti sit in, they sit back, they're going to make it difficult for Barcelona to get shots off. But like I just said, Barcelona have got the quality to break down that Atletico bus. And they've just got the quality to break down that Atletico low block, and they will ease. I mean, they scored 3 goals against this Atletico low block in that second leg, and they nearly pulled off a fantastic comeback in that Copa del Rey semi-final. And Barcelona will probably go back to that game, and Hansi Flick will probably say in his speech before the game, he'll probably be going, lads, we were this close to coming back against Atletico Madrid. If you play the same way, be aggressive, silence the crowd, then there's a chance. I think the first goal is so important in this game. I mean, every first goal in all of these games are important. But whoever gets that first goal, it is absolutely massive. If Atletico get it, they're 3-0 up. You'd probably say the tie's over. If Barcelona get it, then I think it's going to be a long night for Atletico Madrid. It will be a long night for them if Barcelona do get the first goal. I mean, prediction-wise, I do think Atletico will score, and that's the only reason why I think Atletico will score is because of that Barcelona high line. I think that's the problem. I've said it for pretty much this whole season when talking about Barcelona. The problem I have with them is that high line, and because they're going to have so many players forward, if Atleti just leave, let's say, Griezmann and Alvarez or Simeone, if they leave like 2 or 3 up front, play the ball in behind. They're in on goal. So, but I mean, look, Hansi Flick has got to think about this tactically. Yes, they've got to go for it, but they've got to think what they're doing defensively, because they love to play that high line. Then they're going to be probably sat at least probably on the halfway line, because I do expect Barcelona to have a lot of the ball. I expect them to dominate this game because of how low Atletico are going to be. They're going to have 11 players behind the ball. They're going to try and defend this 2-0 lead. But if they do, like I said, they get a goal, which I think they will personally, Atletico Madrid, then the task is just going to get that much harder for Barcelona. But they've got to try and keep Atletico out, which is going to be difficult to do because Barcelona defensively aren't great. But like I said, I've said it a lot of times already, they've got the quality to break down that Atletico low block. I do believe that they've got the quality. Like I said, they've got Yamal, Lewandowski, they've got Rashford, they've got etc. They've got so many quality players, Barcelona, to break down this low block. And my prediction in the end, I think Barcelona will win. I think it's going to be 3-1 to Barcelona. And that means it's going to be 3-3 on aggregate. I think it's going to go all the way to a penalty shootout. And I think home advantage is going to come into play. And I think Atletico Madrid are going to win on penalties. I just think the only reason why I think that is because of the crowd. And because Atletico are at home. So yeah. 3-1 Barca. 3-3 on aggregate. Atletico Madrid to win on penalty kicks. Okay, let's move on to Liverpool versus Paris Saint-Germain at Anfield, where Liverpool are 2-0 down after a first leg defeat at the Parc des Princes. I mean, how the tie is only 2-0, I've got no idea, because Liverpool were in absolute shambles in that first leg out in Paris last week. I mean, PSG could have easily won that 4-5. 6-0. They had a lot of chances in that game, PSG. Liverpool they weren't really trying at all, to be honest. You know, the game plan was simple. They were sitting back, they would try to keep PSG out, and they didn't at all, because they had so many chances, PSG, in that game. And I don't really, the one thing I don't get with people these days, everyone's saying that, it's Anfield on a European night, anything can happen. Have you seen this Liverpool team play? Have you seen Liverpool under Arne Slot this season? They are woeful. I mean, yes, they got a good win on the weekend against Fulham, and I'll cut to a player in that game in a minute who I think has to start in this game, in my opinion. But I'll be honest, Liverpool played well on the weekend against Fulham. But you're playing Fulham, and then you're playing PSG. There's a bit of a quality gap between Fulham and PSG. And PSG going forward are a joke. And I just don't know how that Liverpool... I said it last week. I don't know how that Liverpool defence is going to stop PSG. I really don't, because Dembele is a joke. They've got Barcola, they've got Doué, they've got Kvaratskhelia. They've got so many good... Even in the midfield. Vitinha, João Neves. This PSG team is a joke. I mean, if Liverpool go through, I will be astonished. I will be so surprised if Liverpool go through, because I just don't rate them at the moment. I mean, yes, they got a good win against Fulham and they played quite well, but like I just said, you've gone from playing Fulham, no disrespect to Fulham, they're a good side, but you've gone from playing Fulham and now you're playing PSG, who are one of the best attacking teams in Europe. They run at you, they attack at you, and defenders get scared. Defenders are feared of that PSG attack. And in the end, I think this is a comfortable win for PSG, to be honest. I think it's going to be 3-0 to PSG. However, like I said a couple minutes ago about a player who I think should be starting in this game, Arne Slot has to start Rio Engamoa in this game. When my team Tottenham went to Anfield, he was the best player on the pitch. if Liverpool want to get that first goal and want that bit of quality going forward, you start Engamoa, in my opinion, because he is the guy that can make something happen. You look at that goal on the weekend against Fulham, brilliant goal. But even though I think Liverpool will get beat quite comfortably, if they want to get a goal, if they want to get that first goal, start Engamoa, in my opinion. Anyway, let's talk about another English club, and that is Arsenal, who take on Sporting Club de Portugal at the Emirates Stadium now. The tie is currently 1-0 to Arsenal. A late goal from Kai Havertz at the Estadio Jose Alvalade last week. And I'll be honest, it wasn't the greatest performance from Arsenal. It wasn't the greatest game, to be honest, but Arsenal got the job done. I actually thought Sporting played quite well. I thought they kept Arsenal out for quite a long time. And I mean, they had some decent chances. I can't remember who it was. It was quite early on. I think it was the number 20 for Sporting. It was put through on goal, hit the bar, so close to putting Sporting 1-0 up. But Arsenal recently are the boat is starting to rock. The waves are choppy, and that Arsenal boat is starting to rock because they haven't been great recently. They lost to Bournemouth on the weekend in the Premier League, and from what I've been hearing, because I only watched the last couple of minutes of the game because I was out, but from looking at the highlights and from hearing what people have been saying, Arsenal were not great in that game at all, apparently. And they're facing a Sporting side who, yes, they don't really travel great away from home in the Champions League, but Sporting are definitely still in the tie. And I think defensively, if I think Sporting are compact and they're tight and they keep Arsenal out for a long time and they just create a lot of chances, I think if Sporting start the first 10-20 minutes strong, keep Arsenal out, create some chances, then I think it could be a long night for Arsenal. I think it really could. I mean, Sporting have got a lot of good players. They've got Luis Suarez, who's a threat. They've got Trincao. They've got other players who can hurt Arsenal. And I mean, the confidence Arsenal will be going. The confidence is low at Arsenal at the moment. They are not playing well at all. They've just lost to Bournemouth, lost to Southampton in the FA Cup, lost to Man City in the Carabao Cup final. You've got to remember, Arsenal are actually playing Man City on Sunday, so it'll be interesting to see what team Arteta goes with. What game does he prioritise more? Does he prioritise this game, or does he prioritise that Man City game? Which game's more important to him, to Arteta? And any Arsenal fans watching this, what game's more important, this one or that Man City game? Let me know down in the comments, Arsenal fans. But in the end, it's going to be a very tight game. But Sporting haven't been great away from home this year. Arsenal always seem to get the job done at home in Europe, and I think that's what's gonna happen here. So my prediction is Arsenal 1, Sporting 1, Arsenal to go through 2-1 on aggregate. Okay then, and the final game of the quarterfinals is Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid at the Allianz Arena. Now, Bayern have pretty much won the league. They've won it for ages. I think on Sunday, it can be mathematically confirmed that Bayern, well, not mathematically, it can be confirmed Bayern can win the Bundesliga on Sunday. So, I mean, I think all the baskets for Bayern right now are probably on this because Bayern have got a very, very, very good chance to win the Champions League. And I thought last week at the Bernabeu, the first 75 minutes of that game, Bayern Munich were dominant. They were controlling, and they were fantastic. Of course, they eventually got that goal for Gnabry. Of course, started the second, 24 seconds, I think it was, into the second half. Harry Kane made it 2-0. And I mean, it could have been more in the first half in particular. Bayern had so many chances, and Real Madrid, they were very poor until Kylian Mbappe made it 2-1. And I thought the final 15 minutes for Real Madrid, it went from here to up here. They were a lot better in that final 15 minutes, Real Madrid. They were a lot better in the final 15 minutes, Real Madrid. And I think if Real Madrid start how they did in the final 15 minutes, then I think maybe there might be a chance for Real Madrid to turn this around. But it's going to be very difficult because Bayern at the Allianz Arena are an absolute joke. They score goals for fun, and it's very rare and very unlike you see Bayern lose at home, because Bayern, like I just said, they are a joke at home. They score goals for fun. They don't concede much. So it's going to be difficult for Real Madrid to win this game and to go through, because Bayern at home are a joke. And I think they won, was it 5-0 on the weekend in the Bundesliga against St. Pauli. I mean, like I said, they've pretty much wrapped up the Bundesliga. So I think Bayern will be throwing every egg into that Champions League basket. And like I said, Bayern have got a very good chance of winning this. And from what I saw last week, Bayern for 75 minutes were all over Real Madrid. And it could have been more than 2-1. Because they had a lot of chances. And Bayern, like I said, at home, at the Allianz, are a joke. So for me, I think Bayern are going to win. I think Real Madrid have got no chance, in my opinion. I think they will score, though. But, like I said, Bayern at home, they score goals for fun. They don't concede much. And, yeah, my prediction is 3-1 to Bayern Munich. And there we go, that is the end of the video, so thank you for watching. Of course, I think Atletico Madrid, PSG, Arsenal and Bayern will go through to the semi-finals. Do you agree with me? Let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, enjoy the Champions League. Put your predictions as well down in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.